Ah, the Drow, the dark elves of the Underdark, evil, scheming, manipulative. I wanted to make a video on Driders, but really I can't do that until I talk about the Drow. Drow live up to 750 years if they make it to old age. Drow are shorter and more slender than humans. All dark elves train somewhat in magic and have a high magic resistance. They can cast dancing lights, fairy fire, and darkness once per day. More powerful Drow can cast levitate, know alignment, and detect magic. Obviously, wizards and priests have a further arsenal of spells. Dark elves are commonly associated with being chaotic evil, but this was not always the case. It was at the end of the Fourth Crown War circa negative 10,000 DR that corrupt dark elves were transformed by the god Corellon's magic into Drow. They were then banished into the lightless depths of the Underdark where they made their new home. Since then, they have expanded to much of the Underdark, and few races challenge their subterranean mastery. Due to the dogma of Lolth, the Spider Queen, most Drow cities are matriarchal, dominated by her clergy. In the cities that follow the way of Lolth, the dark elf populace is typically ruled by several dozen noble houses, ranked in a strict hierarchy. A constant, intense, treacherous, and deadly competition seized among the various noble houses. Driders are centaur spider creatures, half Drow, half spider. They are created through the power of Lolth, and only Drow can become Driders. When a Drow shows great promise, they are summoned to the demon web pits for a test of faith and strength. Those that fail are transformed into Driders. The exact nature of this test may vary from one candidate to the next, but no one speaks of it, pass or fail. It can also be a punishment for offending Lolth. It is a very painful process lasting 12 hours and dramatically changes the Drow, more than just its lower half. They grow fangs and have venom in their bite, their digestion changes, and the Drider must drink blood of living creatures for sustenance. In some ways, Driders try to continue their previous life by acquiring more spellcasting power. Even if the monster does not advance further in its former class, it retains some of its old abilities and can use them. Spells are a great way to subdue prey and protect oneself. Oddly, despite the Spider Queen's dissatisfaction with her Drow children changed into Driders, she still allows Driders access to cleric spells. The Drow fear being changed into Driders, for obvious reasons. Because of this, Driders are shunned by the Drow even though they are the living will of their goddess Lolth. The Drow fear the Driders and what they represent, failure. Driders in service of Lolth stay close to cities, but most often Driders are outcast from their communities. They are usually found alone or in the company of giant spiders on the edges of Drow civilization. Driders prefer seclusion, where they can indulge their bitterness and plan grand, mad schemes of vengeance against Lolth's faithful. They have no reservations from devouring other Drow for food or fun, but most often kill goblins or other small humanoids that live in the Underdark. Driders don't like to be surprised and prepare escape routes just in case. This leads to their lairs having more than one entrance or exit. Driders amass treasure in their lairs as well. Their hordes build as they take the possessions of their victims, prizing magic items that help them avoid detection. There isn't really a Drider society because they are such isolationists. The only thing they have in common is their Drow origin, a shared affliction, and a burning desire to avenge themselves on uncursed Drow. Some will worship other Drow deities such as Ganador or Veyran. Driders surprise and trap their prey, softening it up with ranged spells, then finishing it off in melee. Driders know the value of stealth and practice it well. They do everything they can to prevent the enemy from surprising them. They keep spells of dispel magic to purge invisibility that pesky Duragar raiders use. Driders like to get the drop on their enemy, literally, by hiding in the ceiling. Distracting their foes with dancing lights, they descend down to get a surprise round on their prey. Regardless of spell casting, a Drider can simply shoot opponents with a bow. If it had previously ambushed a Drow patrol, it probably has Drow poisoned arrows. Advice for player characters: don't go blindly into a Drider's lair. Prepare antitoxin and protection against poison spells. The Driders in 5th edition have a bite attack dealing poison damage along with its longsword or longbow attack. If you want to know more about Driders, there's a really great in-depth article in Dragon Magazine 312. I pulled a lot of info from it for this video. We're talking about tactics for DMs when using Driders, and even player suggestions for player character Driders.